Hi everyone and welcome back to Butter and Tots. My name is Rana and I'm going to be making some baby food today. If you're thinking about introducing solids to your little one, or if you've already done so and you're looking for some fun ways to spice up their palate, then keep watching, and if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. So if you're introducing solids for the first time, my rule of thumb is start with one ingredient. For example, sweet potatoes is always a good option, or yams or whatever you want to call them, or some pumpkin or some carrots. Start with one single ingredient, steam it. It's always the best way because it's going to keep a lot of the nutrients in there already. So steaming is always the best option if you're starting solids for the first time. Now, hey Sophia. Now when to start it, some people do it at 4, some people do it at 5, some people wait until even 6 or 7. I started with my little girl at 5 months, so she's been having solids now for almost 3 months. She's going great. She's built up a little bit of a palate, so we're going to be putting a lot of different ingredients in her meal prep for the next week. So with solids, I started her at 5 months, but I started my son until he was over 6 months because he was doing really well on the breast milk and I didn't think he needed to start solids early. But she's a little one and I just thought it would benefit her. So we started it. Okay. I think she wants to be a part of it. Okay, so that's what I was saying. So if you are starting it for the first time, just do one ingredient. Try that for 3 days, and if everything is fine, and then the next meal, add another ingredient to that same ingredient. By doing this, you're going to see if there's any allergies, or if your little one likes the taste or if he doesn't like it. For example, I started mine with sweet potatoes. She loved it. We did that for just 2 days, and then on the 3rd day I added pumpkin to the mixture. And then when I saw that everything was fine with the sweet potatoes and the pumpkin, the 3rd time I made food for her, I added in carrots. So it builds up the ingredients for her if you do it that way. Today she's been doing really well, so after 6 months it's really important to start adding in some protein into the food as well, because the protein in your breast milk does get reduced. So the iron, I should say, the iron gets reduced in your breast milk, so when you're doing solids, be sure to include some protein. We are going to be putting in some beef for her. We had chicken last week and lamb the week before that. So we're doing beef now. What I like to do if I'm doing protein is I cook the meat first. I put a little bit of oil and I sear it, make sure it's nice and seared and not all the way cooked, just halfway through. And then I will add in my ingredients, a little bit of salt and then some water and also a bit of cup of rice. And then these days I'm just putting it into my pressure cooker and it just steams everything all together. So that makes things easy, and then I can just blend it inside the pot. Now when you're blending it, you will notice, because she's almost 8 months, I'm not going to be making it really smooth, because I do want her to start experimenting with biting and using her gums and the new teeth she's got coming through. But if you're starting and your little one is 4 and you're starting with just 1, then steam it and make it really smooth when you're blending it. That's it, so let's get started. Okay guys, so for her meal I'm going to be putting in, like I said, some nice beef, organic if you can, bit of broccoli, sweet potatoes and pumpkin. I try to keep in almost every meal of hers. Her lunch and dinners of course, is because she loves the taste. They're a superfood and she's just used to it, so the taste is familiar to her. I'm going to chuck in a carrot and some pepper as well. Now I always put apples. Today I'm going to be putting in a pear just to help with her bowel movements. Another tip I'd like to also add, and you guys would appreciate these, especially if you are starting your little one for the first time on solids, is add some prune juice to the food. So when the food is all made, get your hands on some nice, just clean prune juice, add a little bit into it. That's going to help her have her first bowel movements really easy, because she'll suffer otherwise. Prune juice is a natural laxative, so because their stomach has been used to for 4 or 5 months nothing but milk, when you're doing that, it's going to help things along when they're passing their first poo after having solids. Pears are also a nice laxative as well. They help keep things smooth for them. So I'm going to be chucking in a pear today. Now I need rice, and then I'm going to start chopping up my meat, veggies, and then let's get cooking. Okay. It doesn't matter what shape you really cut it in. It's all going to get blended, of course. Now some people like to take the fat off. I like to keep it in. It's good for her, she could use it, and it's going to make the meal yummier, if that's a word. Okay, that's done. I'm going to start to heat up. That smells great. I'm happy with that. I'm going to turn this off and chop the rest of my ingredients. Okay, so the meat was seared, and then I added in my rice. I put a bit of water in there. Obviously we need some liquid. If you're using chicken instead of beef, you don't need to add as much liquid in it because the chicken will make some juices of its own. 1 cup of rice in there, so that's going to absorb some of the liquid as well. And once it's cooked, if you feel like it needs more liquid, just boil some water in the kettle and pop some in to get the consistency that you need and want. And pressure cook it for a good 15 minutes. Oh, love you. What is it? Everything smells really nice and it's all well cooked. going to do now is blend it, and if I think it needs more juice, more water, then I might add a little bit of prune juice to it and some more water, but I'll know once I... That smells really nice. I want to make sure that all that meat is really blended in, because obviously she's got no teeth. So I'm going to be storing it into these little cute baby freezer little pots, I guess you could say. So what I would do is I'll put the food in this, freeze it, and then once it's frozen I can take it out and put it into those freezer bags. That way I can write on the bag and date it. They're really good. They're from Newbie, so when you're going out and about you can just grab it from the freezer and then defrost it and serve to your baby.